Arsenal strengthened their Premier League title hopes with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Brighton, securing 3 massive points in their penultimate league match of 2025. With Manchester City ramping up the pressure, Mikel Arteta's men delivered when it mattered most, showing resilience, maturity, and winning mentality at the Emirates. The Gunners, who went into Christmas top of the table, knew the importance of avoiding any slip-up. Brighton made them work for it, but Arsenal's intensity, pressing, and clinical finishing ensured they stayed firmly in control of the title race. Following this victory, attention now turns to Tuesday's showdown against Aston Villa. A match filled with emotional motivation after the painful defeat at Villa Park earlier in the season. Confidence in the Arsenal camp is high, and momentum is certainly on their side. Transfer twist. Antoine Semeno had Arsenal dream, but Manchester City close in. While Arsenal celebrate on the pitch, a major twist continues to unfold off it. Reports suggest Bournemouth star Antoine Semeno would have chosen Arsenal as his first-choice destination if talks had begun this January. However, the winger now looks set to join Manchester City, who are prepared to activate his £65 million release clause. At 25, the Ghanaian forward has been one of the standout performers of the season, already hitting 8 Premier League goals. According to reports, Semeno grew up a Gunners fan and would have gladly picked Arsenal over City, but financial timing and strategy prevented a deal. Arsenal's big summer spending means any real move likely wouldn't have come until 2026, while Semeno is determined to leave now and compete immediately for major honours. Liverpool and Chelsea also showed interest, while Manchester United pushed strongly, but City appear ready to close the deal swiftly. Martinelli's support for Jesus highlights Arsenal's strong team spirit beyond transfers. One of the most inspiring stories in the Arsenal squad comes from Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian forward has revealed how he emotionally and mentally supported compatriot Gabriel Jesus throughout his long ACL injury recovery. Jesus spent most of the year sidelined, admitting he experienced 300 bad days during his rehabilitation. Martinelli, who has gone through serious knee issues himself, stepped up as a supportive teammate, offering motivation, reassurance, and understanding throughout the journey. Despite being younger, Martinelli showed maturity and leadership, reminding everyone how close-knit this Arsenal squad truly is. Now that Jesus is back, both players will be hoping to make decisive contributions during this crucial final stretch of the season. Arsenal's 2-1 win over Brighton not only keeps their title dream alive, it highlights a squad full of belief, unity, and heart. Even with a potentially quiet January transfer window, the spirit inside Arteta's team may be the most powerful signing of all. With Aston Villa up next and trophies still within reach on multiple fronts, Arsenal look ready to keep pushing until the very end. Let's continue to previous updates with our journalist.
Arsenal are gearing up for another intriguing transfer battle as they find themselves competing with Chelsea for the signature of Juventus sensation Kenan Yildiz. Despite expectations of a relatively quiet January after heavy spending in recent windows, Arsenal are already preparing for future business, with eyes firmly on strengthening key areas ahead of the 2026 summer window. Sporting director Andrea Berta has been credited with assembling a strong squad, but there is still a belief inside the club that a few strategic additions could take Mikel Arteta's team to the next level. High on the agenda is the recruitment of a versatile forward capable of covering multiple attacking positions, particularly someone who can challenge Gabriel Martinelli on the left, while also adapting elsewhere across the front line. Arsenal are also assessing options in goal, with plans to bring in a promising young goalkeeper to increase competition behind David Raya and Kepa Arrizabalaga. According to reports, Juventus forward Kenan Yildiz has emerged as a major target. The Turkish star's situation in Turin is described as delicate, as he pushes for a significantly improved contract to reflect his rising status in Serie A. However, Juventus's hesitation to meet his demands has opened the door for Premier League clubs, with Arsenal and Chelsea both leading the race. Arsenal have reportedly made direct contact with Yildiz's agent, Jorge Mendes, and are ready to act swiftly if contract talks collapse. Yildiz is believed to be attracted by Arsenal's project, Arteta's coaching style, and the club's strong track record of developing technically gifted young attackers. Chelsea remain firmly in the mix as well, having already shown serious interest with a rejected €70 million bid last summer, while Juventus continue to value the player at around €90 million. Arsenal's interest in Serie A does not stop there. Reports in Italy suggest the Gunners are also monitoring AC Milan goalkeeper Lorenzo Torriani. The 20-year-old caught Arsenal's attention after a standout pre-season performance in which he saved 3 penalties against them. With limited first-team opportunities behind Kobbie Mainoo, Torriani is believed to be open to a move, though Milan previously rejected a €10 million offer, meaning Arsenal would need to improve their bid. While talk continues around Arsenal possibly signing another striker, it is understood that the club still has faith in Victor Gyökeres and does not currently see replacing him as a priority. Instead, attention will remain on securing a versatile forward like Yildiz and strengthening depth in goal. As things stand, Arsenal and Chelsea are watching developments closely, and the next few months will be crucial. Whether Juventus meet Yildiz's demands or open the door to a blockbuster Premier League move remains to be seen. But Arsenal are positioning themselves strongly should the opportunity arise. In other news, Arsenal are also monitoring developments around Real Madrid star Arda Guler. The 20-year-old Turkish talent is attracting serious interest from Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United after producing 3 goals and 7 assists in 21 appearances this season. Guler has quickly built a reputation as a generational playmaker, drawing comparisons to Mesut Özil due to his creative vision, elegance, and tactical intelligence. Signed for €30 million in 2023, he has grown into a versatile option capable of playing as a number 10 or winger, backed by elite creative statistics such as 7.98 progressive passes per 90 and 3.27 key passes per 90. His goal involvement every 136 minutes further highlights his influence in attacking phases. Reports suggest that Mikel Arteta views Guler as an ideal long-term creative addition and a potential future replacement capable of elevating Arsenal's attacking structure. The Gunners are believed to be willing to pay up to $88 million to secure him, convinced that his skills perfectly suit their high-pressing, possession-based approach. However, Real Madrid are turning away offers and are preparing a contract extension, seeing him as a major asset for the future. While his loyalty to Madrid may play a role, the financial power and sporting ambition of the Premier League contenders ensure this transfer saga is far from over. On the other side, according to fresh reports, the club are willing to spend €45 million, which around to £39.3 million, to secure one of League One's most highly rated young midfielders this winter, despite the player recently signing a new long-term contract with his current side. After an expensive summer window worth nearly £250 million, the Gunners were expected to have a quiet January. However, sporting director Andrea Berta remains attentive to strategic market opportunities, particularly those involving promising midfielders who could strengthen the squad's long-term structure. Sources suggest that Arsenal are actively assessing options, with young Elche talent Rodrigo Mendoza still on the list as a possible winter target. The club have also been heavily linked with Lile's rising star Ayoub Bouaddi, who extended his contract until 2029. However, the extension is believed to be part of Lile's strategy to maximise any future transfer fee rather than guarantee a long-term stay. Arsenal and Chelsea are both reportedly willing to meet the €45 million valuation to secure his signature, although Lille are expected to hold out for offers exceeding €50 million in the summer. Bouaddi has already amassed 72 senior appearances, breaking multiple club records at Lille and showcasing the maturity of a far older midfielder. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch, he offers versatility as both a number 6 and number 8, making him a natural fit for Arteta's tactical model. His ball-carrying ability, physical strength, and exceptional passing accuracy, particularly his 90.3% completion rate on long balls, ranking him in the top 1% of European midfielders, have made him one of the most coveted young players in France. With competition from Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Manchester United, securing Bouaddi will not be straightforward. However, reports state that the strongest interest currently comes from Arsenal and Chelsea, setting the stage for a potential transfer battle between the London rivals. If Arsenal do manage to bring him to North London, Bouaddi is viewed as a player who could one day step into the roles currently occupied by key midfield figures. His profile suggests he could grow into a long-term solution in Arteta's evolving engine room, learning from top-level leaders and eventually becoming a central figure in Arsenal's future midfield. On the other side, Arsenal have been tipped to explore a potential January deal for Manchester United midfielder Kobbie Mainoo. According to respected ESPN journalist Mark Ogden, the Gunners could consider a short-term option for the England international if they reach the end of the window still needing extra cover in midfield. Mainoo, despite his talent and breakthrough reputation, has yet to start a Premier League match this season. He has made 9 appearances off the bench, with his only start coming in the League Cup defeat to Grimsby Town. Reports suggest that he considered leaving Manchester United late in the summer window after Ruben Amorim publicly stated that he would be competing directly with captain Bruno Fernandes for minutes. The midfielder pushed for a loan move elsewhere for more consistent first-team football, but Manchester United Director of Football Jason Wilcox convinced him to stay. Even so, uncertainty continues to surround his situation heading into January, especially with Premier League rivals monitoring his availability. Chelsea, among other clubs, have shown interest, but Ogden believes Arsenal could emerge as a surprise contender. On the ESPN FC podcast, he explained that while United prefer to keep the player, financial pressures under the Premier League's PSR rules mean homegrown stars could be allowed to leave, similar to the situation involving Alejandro Garnacho in the summer. Ogden noted that Arsenal might look at Mainoo as a short-term solution to provide depth behind Martin Odegaard, especially with young Max Daumann still developing and not yet ready for a heavy match schedule. In his written piece for ESPN, Ogden emphasised that Arsenal's squad is strong, but that midfield cover remains a concern when Odegaard is unavailable. However, any move for Mainoo would depend on Manchester United finding a replacement, a scenario that makes the potential deal complicated but not entirely impossible. With Arsenal keeping one eye on maintaining squad strength during a title push, a late window loan could become an option if circumstances align. On the other side, Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr and Napoli's Scott McTominay. The biggest news dominating the headlines is the potential availability of Real Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr. The Brazilian forward has reportedly informed President Florentino Perez that he is unwilling to extend his contract beyond 2027, citing a growingly fraught relationship with manager Xabi Alonso. Following a heated moment in El Clasico where he muttered, "Always me, I'm leaving the team," after being substituted, an exit could come sooner rather than later. The price tag is colossal. Clubs will likely need to stump up £150 million and match his reported £350,000 per week wages. Intriguingly, Arsenal has been ranked as the favourites among the Premier League's Big Six and are reportedly ready to break the bank. While the forward's defensive work rate is a known issue, the club seems to believe his attacking quality, which includes scoring in 2 Champions League finals, is worth the risk, especially as Mikel Arteta remains firmly in the market for a new left winger, despite Leandro Trossard's recent good form. In other significant transfer news, manager Mikel Arteta is reportedly driving the push to sign Napoli's Scott McTominay. The manager is said to view the Scotland international as the perfect addition to his midfield, providing vital depth. While Arsenal is already blessed with talent like Declan Rice, Christian Norgard, and Martin Zubimendi, injuries to key players like Victor Gyökeres, Kai Havertz, and Gabriel Jesus this season have highlighted the need for more options. The cost for the former Manchester United man, who has flourished at Napoli with 12 goals and 6 assists in 34 Serie A outings last season, will be high. Napoli, with McTominay under contract until 2029, is demanding a hefty £60 million. Despite the competition for a starting spot with Declan Rice, who Gary Neville called the irreplaceable Roy Keane or Rodri figure, McTominay's ability to press and attack would offer fantastic tactical flexibility for Arteta as the team challenges on multiple fronts. Let's move to previous updates. Transfer discussions continue to gather pace. Arsenal are reportedly one of the clubs monitoring Nottingham Forest centre-back Murillo, though competition from Chelsea and Barcelona has intensified. His standout performance, scoring and keeping a clean sheet in Forest's 3-0 win at Anfield, has pushed him into the spotlight again. Reports suggest Arsenal have entered the race with serious intent, with Mikel Arteta said to be a long-time admirer. However, Forest value him at around £75 million, and his contract until 2029 gives them a strong negotiating position. Chelsea are believed to be the most aggressive contenders at this stage, with their manager identifying him as a priority target. Barcelona, meanwhile, are interested but unlikely to reach the required fee without selling players. For Arsenal, despite the admiration, a move appears less likely for now, especially after strengthening the centre-back department over the summer. Still, the club's interest in young, high-quality defenders shows they're planning long-term. Do you think Arsenal should push for Murillo or focus on other positions?